Hi everyone, welcome. This is going to be mermaid video 1. So this video I'm going to be playing with some gel crayons. Let me find my container I had out. These are Hello Hobby gel crayons. 12 colors, ages 3 and up, fruit scented, which doesn't really make a difference. If you are sensitive to odors, these are not super strong. So, and I don't think the smell really lasts. I haven't noticed. Here's the back, so you can draw with them, paint, you can add water to make them have a colorful effect. Mine were at Walmart for about $6. And I did a page a while back with these, and a couple people had questions, so I thought, you know what, let's try it out. So this book is Gnomes in the Neighborhood, and mine has practice wrote across it. Sorry about that. I have 2 of them, so I use one for practice, one for done. But this is the page I picked. And I think I just want to play with the background, some sunset effect type thing. So I'm not going to use water just yet. I'm just going to kind of put in my first layers. Give me 1 second, I forgot to pull a piece of scrap paper so I'm not scribbling all over the next page. Okay. So make sure I'm on camera here. We're just going to go right into it. I'm going to come down fairly far, but not anything crazy. I am going to try to avoid the leaves and things. Now these are comparable to gelatos, the Faber-Castell gelatos. They are way cheaper. They go on way smoother and easier in my opinion. They are a little less vibrant and pigmented. Like the red is, you know, it's a little pinkier than deep red. But for $6, I think they do well. I resorted to these because gelatos are expensive. So when I put these on, I like to do a nice, as you can tell, full layer. And you know, gelatos are expensive, so I find myself like doing the bare minimum and trying to spread them with water to make them last a little longer. So these, I just apply everywhere. That's okay with me. Okay, we're gonna take our next color, which is orange, and just like if we were doing a pencil, we're gonna back blend a little bit, not all the way through the red, just enough we can get a good blend going on there. Now, just like pencils, these will take a couple layers, even though they're nice and jelly and whatnot, they are not insta blends. So, kind of get our first layer in first. Now, I'm not worried about them being a huge gap of orange in the middle because I'm going to add clouds as well today to this lovely mermaid background. Now, if you watched the other video, my mermaid video, I am doing an event across a couple platforms, so if you watch that and you post the comment down below that I requested, you will get an entry to possibly win a $10 Amazon gift card. I know it's not a whole lot, but Amazon has lots of neat things, and I figured everybody could enjoy that, and that way people overseas could also participate, because I don't want to leave anybody out. I feel so bad. I know it's not on purpose, it's inevitable with the price of shipping and things going on, but I'm going to do my best to include everyone. Okay. Got a little messy there, that's okay. Now, a big important factor you're going to want to remember is either start top to bottom or probably top to bottom. I'm a lefty, because you don't want to drag. If you get this on your hand and then you're working down here, you're going to have this stuff everywhere, because it does stay like this gel consistency. It doesn't really dry. I probably will spray mine with fixative to help combat that a little bit, but just a heads up. So I am just kind of going back over that blend. Looked a little rough to me. So nice layer. Okay, And yes, there are still some white spots, but we will get those fixed up. Okay, from here on down is going to be my yellow. Oop, got a little wild with it too. That is one thing about these. I think you can sharpen them into tips if that is something you are interested in, but I mainly use these for large backgrounds, so I will take a fine point paintbrush and kind of get everywhere I can with this big, I don't want to call it a glue stick, lipstick type container. You can, on these, they do have the Hello Hobby logo on them, and you can roll them up and back down, similar to a gelato. Now, any page is going to warp a little when you add water to it, so if you like this nice, clean feel, you don't have to add water to blend it. It's not necessary. So right here, just kind of getting my blend started a little. Back blending, like we talked about when we did the red. Doesn't have to be pulled down evenly. Obviously, you don't want your orange way up here and your yellow way down here, but doesn't have to be exactly perfect to get the desired effect. Now, if you're going down into your straight yellow, you want to make sure you kind of wipe the orange off, because you will get those orange flecks down here that will smear and spread. Okay, so just kind of taking my time right around her hair. Make sure I get nice and close to her tail, the water. I'm gonna go up a little and use the side and get in here. This one is banana. I'm starting to smell it. They're not super strong though. I don't know what all the flavors are supposed to be. I know some people have aversions to smell. Crayola came out with those sweet and stink or something like that markers, and I thought it would be a good idea to get them for my daughter for Christmas. No. Those was like rotten teeth and rotten potato, and she never sniffed them herself. She'd always be like, "You sniff it, what flavor is this?" So never again, because I do have a weak stomach. I like Sharpies and stuff. They're a little strong. They don't bother me, but that stinky smells I can't do. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little streak. Don't want them too uniform, and you'll see we're going to blend it out so it won't be too harsh. That just kind of gives a little more effect to the sky. We're still going to be adding clouds, so just kind of, I just don't want it to look too straightforward yellow or orange. Kind of want that little bit of cloudy effect in there. I'm going to make that one a little rougher. Don't want all straight lines here. If you don't like it, erase it out with your finger. Okay, so that is how I'm going to do that. So the next part is totally up to you, whether you want to put some chapstick on a toothpick, goodness, a cotton swab, a little bit of water. Like I said, any water is going to make a page crinkly if we get too wild with it. So just be aware if you don't like that crinkly paper effect. I'm also trying not to do too much because I don't want to pull the color away and have it washed out. I just am trying to get in the smaller areas without ruining too much of my picture here. So I don't know. Yeah, that's gonna pull my color. I think I like the finger blend the best. I know it's not like, not everybody likes to get their fingers messy, and I'm sure there's a better way, but for me right now, this is giving me the nice blend effect I want, because I can pull it down as far as I want. Okay, oh, I got a little on her tail. That's okay. She's gonna have a teal tail, because the teal is gonna really, it's opposite of the color wheel of orange, basically. So it is going to be nice in contrast. And it is also going to have nail polish sparkle on it. Another kind of, what do I want to say, like conflicting thing in the color world is nail polish. I have heard comments that it can ruin paper and yellow paper, things like that. I honestly use water-based most of the time nail polish, and I've never, so far in 4 years, have had any paper ruined or yellowed by it. That is something to be aware of in your own collection when trying things. Okay, just kind of getting that little harsh line out there. Get over here in the trees. So I'm going to flip ends of my, keep wanting to call it a toothpick, Q-tip, because I don't want to drag that red too far down here. You'll see that just kind of, if it's not wet enough, it will actually just pull more of it up than anything, which I don't love, but it does make it a dot easier to spread. I'm going to add a little orange cloud there. Yes, I did that on purpose. I kind of wanted it to be a little darker than that though. I have to remember not to drink out of this water bottle now that I went and stuck this. They say non-toxic, but I still don't want to drink them. That is a little more brought down than I want right there, because then I'm going to have that harsh. So I'm going to fix that spot right there. Other than that, I think they blend fairly well. I think I'm getting the effect I'm going for. Sorry about the noisy car outside, and I got the dishwasher going. Things I didn't think of. I just happened to pull this book out and I was like, oh, video number 1, perfect. So we can get some comments rolling in and some people on the board. All right. So we are gonna roll with that for our background. I have white acrylic paint. I'm gonna take another clean Q-tip and I'm going to do clouds. Now clouds are going to be a little bit of I want to say a little bit of work on this page. Anytime you put white over a color, it soaks up that color. So we are going to automatically expect that this is going to change colors when we put it on. But we can put on a layer, get the kind of clouds we want going on here, whether we want stripy clouds, bumpy clouds, big clouds, little clouds. Let it dry, put on another layer, and every time you put on another layer, it will soak up little and a little less of the color under it. Okay, I'm going to give this one a big, so I'll be able to add some depth in these clouds here. You can also, if you are into the big clouds, run a streak, kind of wipe it with your finger. And I had red on my finger, so we're going to have a little bit of a red cloud here. I'm going to have to fix that spot. We'll just turn it into a big cloud. That will work just as well. So we just want to make sure we have kind of a nice, we don't want anything to look too standoutish or weird. So this one, for those of you doing streaks, that's how you do it, but I don't think the streaks fit in with my bumpy clouds now. So I'm going to add a little bump to that one. I'm not going to worry about the red in this too much, because like I said, we're going to swap ends, let it dry a little bit. I think we need like a tiny dot of one right here. It just feels empty. And of course more paint, because I'm about out. This is just Apple Barrel White matte acrylic paint. I do not use glossy. I do like glossy for like backgrounds, but not for clouds and things. But usually if I want glossy, I have some type of nail polish or like dragonfly glaze that I will put over top. So I'm gonna kind of, you can see how it is still changing color, which is fine. It's only our second layer. Holding the paper down a little. I'm still on camera here. Okay, we're just gonna let it dry. It will kind of take up a bit of your Q-tips because you will have to keep rolling your Q-tip or you'll just add color back on yourself. And it will take a few layers to get past the soaking up part. So if you're not loving your cloud and how it's looking, just leave it for a minute, and when you come back, see how I can kind of give it the more fuzzy feel around it. This one right here, I don't love this one, so I'm going to put a big gob of paint there and kind of trail it off a little. Still going to fix this one right here. Just little cloud prints. Okay. So we'll give those a minute to dry, and I will be back to show you. Alright, so I did a little bit of the tail. I was kind of waiting on the paint to dry, and then I'm going to go back, do one more layer on my clouds, add a little gray, and that will be that for this video. So, using a clean Q-tip, or the other end of yours, whatever you have going on. You're going along. I'm going to touch all the middle of my cloud first before I go around the outside of them, because if I start picking up that red again, my clouds are going to change colors. So it's going to look a little funny. They're all going to look a little unfinished for a minute, but I will go back. So make sure I'm getting that on my tail. Oh, and then I did it again. See how it's starting to change colors. That's why I'm trying to stick to the middle of the clouds first, and then I'll go back and do the outsides of them. So we stay white. Okay, now I'm going around and just patting the outside so they don't have any like line rough edges. We want nice poofy. My paper down a little bit. Nice poofy clouds here. And that one really picked up the red, so I'm going to flip. This one will too. That cloud got a little bigger. That's okay. This one up here, I accidentally got a little more red going here than I needed when I was getting my outside fluffy. Okay, so then when that dries, I use eyeshadow. You can use chalks or anything like that that you have in gray. You can also use like a light yellow or light blue. I have this nice little palette. I couldn't even tell you. I got it. It was one of those ones that come in like the Christmas sets. My parents got me forever ago, and I quit wearing makeup because my allergies got so bad. And then I started getting into coloring, and I was like, well, this is still usable. Okay, so when your paint is dry, kind of important your paint is dry. You're just gonna take your grays, that one's still wet, dab it on and kind of rub it in a little. And that just gives them a little life. They're not just white. You don't want to go all the way to the top. Just kind of stick to the bottom of them. This also works with color pencil if you are coloring clouds. Color them with a little gray at the bottom. Okay, so that's all I'm going to do because I think the rest of these are still a little wet. So if you made it this far, I thank you for watching. Questions, comments, let me down below. Let me know down below. Don't forget to comment for Mermaid, and I hope to see you next video.